Minister Reznikov, what would this documentary say if it was made today, 2 years later? Because this documentary is about the few months after the war. What would it say now based on the status of the war?
I would say that this is very important contribution from the Evgeny side and his team to deliver to the world that this is a real war in Ukraine. Sometimes somebody call it crisis in Ukraine, conflict in Ukraine, but it's not correct word. It's not correct wording. It's correct word. It's only war in Ukraine. And we have, you can, again, if you will come back to these images, to this footage, for me, it was a real evidence that we have war not with the normal official armed forces of the neighbor. We have war with the army of looters, rapists, and murderers. That's why in Ukraine we call them orcs. We are fighting with the orcs. We are fighting for our surviving. We are fighting for our lives, for our home, for our families, for our values. That's why it's very important to deliver this message to the world because the war, it's a war of resources. We are fighting with a big monster, but if you remember the Bible story about the David and Goliath, the Goliath was a monster with a lot of muscles, but David, he was a brave, he was a creative, and he used sling to defeat this monster. That's why we need support from the civilized world. We need your support. We need your political support, economical support, and military support. And it allowed us to win this war. I'm absolutely sure we will win this war together with our partners.